はい、前作では、シーズンパスだけでも7まであったと思うんですけれども、今回も、同じようなモデルで行くご予定でしょうか。
今回に関しては、パッケージにどれぐらいコスチュームが入るかも決まってないんですけど、やっぱり DLC もまだ決まってないんですね。なのでちょっと今は答えられないですね。
Yeah, at this point, I can't really tell how much costumes will be included in the full game version, and because we're in the early development phase of the game, that it's really hard. It's really hard to tell. We haven't really thought that much ahead on what happens after the launch.
ですが格闘ゲームですので、今後も大会とかやるでしょうから、サポートは長くしていきたいなと思っています。
But this is going to, well, given that it's a fighting game and then there will be future tournaments and whatnot, that in the long run we'll try to be creative about how to, keep it going in the long run.
Okay. DOA 5 managed to come out for a whole lot of different systems. It was out for the PlayStation Vita. Are there any chances we're going to be seeing this on Nintendo Switch at any point?
その DOA5 の時はビータも移植されたんですけれども、本作においてはスイッチに登場する可能性はありますか？
今のところはないですね。ただスイッチも興味はありますので、技術的に可能になったら考えさせていただこうかなと思います。ただ今はないです。
The short answer is no, not at this point yet. But if we can somehow overcome some of the technical hurdles in the coming days, yeah, maybe there will be a chance, but not at this point.
All right. And are there any enhancements for PlayStation 4 Pro?
そのプロ向けの専用のそのアップグレードとかエンハンスメントはありますか？
プロとプロじゃない方ってことですね。
そうですね。
プロの方がやっぱり性能がいいので、グラフィック面では絶対にプロの方がいいです。例えば4K 対応ができるとしたらプロの方だけになるでしょうね。
Well, Pro being Pro, has being the better hardware, so you'll be able to experience 4K and enhanced graphics on Pro.
See all the details. Now, the environmental destruction in DOA 5 was incredible, and we're not seeing a ton of it in what you've shown off so far. But are there plans to really let you just knock people off the map and rough them up?
今のところそのステージのインタラクティブステージ破壊の部分はまだ見れてないですけれども、今後は従来通り派手なそのステージギミックは用意する予定でしょうか？そうですね。
今回はつまり今回どんなテーマで出したかというと、戦っている人たち、人たちのすぐそばにあるものを使って何か面白いデンジャーゾーンを作ってみようっていうのがテーマになっています。だからちょっと今までの路線とは違って感じたかもしれませんけども、今後はもっと大きなものとかにもチャレンジしていこうかなと思います。
The stages that we've shown so far, they're all kind of limited to the immediate environment that's around the fighters, not so much as falling from the skyscraper type of thing. But this is just to show you. That's just to show you what we'll be doing with this type of interactive stages. But in the future, you can count on that we'll be revealing more and more different intense stages.
The DOA stories are always known for being completely over the top and really fun. Can you give a tease about what the story mode will be like in this one?
ストーリーは今まで奥深いストーリーで今までシリーズのセールスポイントだったんですけれども、今回のストーリーモードについて何かお話しできるポイントはありますか？
今回のストーリーモード、内容はねちょっとまだ話せないんですよ。なんですけど、そうですね、デッドライフ5の時には1本でストーリー描いたんですけど、いろんなルートを行ったり来たりして話が分かりにくいっていうお客さんがかなり多かったので、今回はもっと分かりやすくストーリーが進むようにって考えています。
Well, I can't tell you anything about the actual story yet, but what I can tell you is that we've had feedback that the story mode for 5 has been somewhat linear, but it also goes back and forth, so it gets confusing at times for some players. In this time, we'll try to make it more easy to understand for everyone.
Excellent. And do you have a release date in mind or a window at all?
その発売日あるいは発売時期については、言えることはありますか？
ああ、それはね、実はトレーラーの最後にも出てくるんですけど、2019年の初頭ということになっています。
Well, it's shown on our the end of our trailer. Basically says early 2019.
Okay, so early next year. Well, thank you so much for coming by and showing it off. It's always wonderful to see a brand new game at E3. All that kicking and punching and jumping really took it out of me, so I'm tapping out. We're going to take a quick break, and Damon is running down day one of our picks for Game of the Show for E3 2018. In the meantime, head to IGN.com or download our app for all the breaking news coming out of E3 that doesn't fit on this stage.
IGN Live at E3 2018 is presented by Sicario Day of the Soldado. Only on the big screen June 29th.
I know who you are. The attorney whose family they killed.
Not they.
My father. Now you hunt them.
Adios.
And this girl was witness to the mission.
You gotta get rid of her. I can't do that. Some bad people hunting for you now. You have no reason to trust me. But trusting me is how you're gonna survive.
Sicario, Day of the Soldado, rated R. Random events. Accidents. Countless possibilities converging at a single point in time. Yet there is only one truth: cause, effect. We live in a world of assassins. And the best of them all is Agent 47.
Welcome back to IGN Live at E3 2018. If you're just joining us, you blew it. The show's almost over. Actually, you're fine because you can go back and watch us all night long on IGN.com. You can also download the IGN app, and if you just want to chit-chat, join us on Twitter and leave your comments using the hashtag E3 2018 and tag IGN. Seen a lot of exciting games today make their debut, but in the end, there can be only one. While the reveal for the official Game of the Show won't be until Thursday on IGN.com, I am dying to see what our favorites from today were. We have written our favorite games of day one on these note cards, and we will now reveal them to you.
To each other.
To each other. I can't wait to see what my pick is. Very excited. I'll go first.
Okay.
I have selected Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That's right, a game that isn't even really anything more
have a logo
than a title was the most exciting thing, I think, to me.
Why?
Of the day one. Well, I really like a good Star Wars. And like you were saying earlier, EA has had the Star Wars license for 5 years. They've only put out 2 games in that time, at least on
mobile games,
at least on consoles. Yeah. And I'm not a huge multiplayer gamer myself, and those are the 2 Battlefronts are very multiplayer focused. So very excited at the idea of playing a big single-player Star Wars game with the campaign. I like what Respawn did with the campaign in Titanfall 2.
Totally.
That's very promising to me. And then this time period, Jedi Fallen Order, in between episodes 3 and 4, after Order 66.
Yeah, they just kind of show that sizzle reel of Jedi just getting wiped out. So
but
like,
not me. Yeah. I survived.
No, you ran away.
Yeah, you hid. I'm a survivor. Yeah,
It's
so
also nice to, like, you know, we've been calling this the Respawn game for such a long time to finally actually have a name for it.
we know,
It's really cool to know some detail about it. We still don't really know what kind of game it's going to be. Like,
No.
Yeah.
You're the biggest Star Wars fan that I know.
I'm like, honestly, I think the go-to thing here is to be like, Titanfall, but with Star Wars, which would be cool. It would be pretty straightforward to be like, oh, everyone has jetpacks and you fight the ATSTs. Done.
That's
you know.
such a discredit to Respawn, even though.
No,
You know, like,
totally.
and I know that you're not saying that, but it's like, you know, the first Titanfall was multiplayer only, and then they came out with Titanfall 2. Unfortunately, came out at a bad time of year, so not everyone played it, but it had an awesome single-player experience.
Yeah, no,
Single-player
totally,
campaign.
yeah.
It was great. So it's like, I truly believe that they can innovate again on top of what the studio has done, and, you know, they have a huge Call of Duty background, so they know how to make big blockbuster stuff. So.
Hey, you know who can jump really high and wall run, right? Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can they?
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't know that.
Put them if you make them do that in a game, probably. It's not real. You can make stuff up. They're wizards.
Can
in space.
you?
It's fine. No, I love that announcement. Like, that's exactly how excited people are for this game. That they announced that. I think I looked on Twitter. It was like Respawn was trending, Fallen Order was trending, and Jedi was trending, and then like Star Wars on the side too. So that was, you know.
Interesting.
All you have to do is look at a camera and just say we're making this Star Wars
Throw some
game.
words together and call it a day. You know?
I wasn't a fan of that reveal, I have to say.
No, not ideal. Not
Does
ideal.
it even count as a reveal when they didn't? They just said something.
If
you know?
they had done it in a press release, we would have covered the fact that the game has a name, right? So we would have covered it anyway, but I feel like it's an awkward way to do it. I'm surprised they did it that way because it's like they undershot their own announcement, kind of.
I agree.
So look, I'm going to be honest, Damon. I feel
Okay.
like this has no chance at winning Game of the Show.
Oh, I agree with you there. Oh, yeah. This
Exciting
is not,
game from today.
Broke the rules.
This is not what I think is going to win Game of the Show. This is just the thing that I like the most today. Alana, what did you like most today?
Okay, from today, I am picking.
Anthem.
See, that's fair.
Even with a love
Is
heart.
the heart part of the logo? Is that one of the classes?
Yeah.
The hugger.
Yeah.
I did get to
Pacifist.
interview on the live show with Brandon Tyrell earlier today, so you guys will be able to watch the breakout. The director of the game, John Warner, and we got to learn some more interesting stuff. I asked how similar it is to Destiny, and he really spoke quite passionately about the pilot system and how you can change your class at any point in time, and I am really sold on that. In Destiny, I play a Warlock. In this, I will probably favorite the Ghost type, which is like high damage, but kind of squishy, as they call it, so he's probably not going to be able to take a lot of damage, but I think that the ability to swap between all of them, and even with the actual classes they have, there are different kinds. Like, you can really specialize and you can customize, and I think it's really cool. It's also just, this world really, really interests me. I do have concerns. I'm worried that maybe there's a chance for it to be a little bare bones when it gets into
That tends to happen.
open world content, and especially if it's a shared world shooter, and I am a little bit worried about that, but I also have faith in BioWare's ability to make a really compelling story, and it just looks so pretty. I want to fight that giant thing. I don't know what it is, but I totally want to fight it.
I get frustrated by games where they just immediately have like the damage numbers popping up on stuff, because that takes me out of it. That reminds me that it's a game.
I would like to be able to turn that off.
It's fine, but at the same time, when he also does that big huge roundup shot, or like a bunch of 600 starts popping up, there's that part of my like weird animal brain where I'm like, ooh, I'm doing good.
Well, there are
That's a
some
lot of
games
points.
where I think that it's a service to them, like Bulletstorm. If it's a game that's like ridiculous, you're
Exactly.
like,
Yeah,
you did
Borderlands is
1,000
like that.
damage. Yeah, and
Yeah, it
Borderlands
kinda-
is really good for it too.
Yeah, it transcends that kind of like RPG feeling and
With
becomes arcade.
Bulletstorm, which so few people have played comparatively, but yeah, I think I'm okay with that. It would be cool to be able to turn it off, but I'm also very interested in the lore of this world. They spoke about how it's a planet. It's not related to Earth. It's not an Earth colony or anything, but it's a planet that the gods started making and then left.
Oof.
So it has all this kind of infrastructure, even in the nature, that's just unfinished, and I'm very interested to see if the story ties into that, if maybe some of the narrative is going to be about, oh, here's why the gods left this planet, here's why they gave up, is there some kind of like overarching conflict? So I still have a lot of questions, but it just look at all this
combo.
It just looks so
Very
so
vivid.
pretty, and yeah, that flowy cape. I'm definitely gonna play the Ghost class. I'm also really interested in how the world events are going to happen, like when there's a storm. Like, one thing that I really love about working at IGN is that we all play a video game and then we come into the office the next day and we're all talking about it. It happened a lot with Breath of the Wild, Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. It's like you all walk into the office and you talk about how you approach something differently, and not all games can really foster that kind of conversation, whereas this seems like it really can in a more specific way, and that something will be happening at the same time for all of us, even if we're doing different things. We'll be like, oh, what did you do when that storm showed up? Like, how was that situation for you?
I am dying to see the weather systems and stuff, because they show that off in that sort of first, like, you know, proof of concept demo thing, and this like lightning storm shows up, and we've had dynamic weather in games for ages now, and occasionally it'll give you
mostly
frost damage or whatever. Yeah, but as far as having something where in a game where a storm comes and you're like, I'm in trouble. I didn't, my mech is going to freeze if I don't get out of here. I've got to book it. That's the idea of this world actually being so unforgiving that you need to have a hard suit to survive it, or a javelin or whatever. I'm super into that. I just hope it's big enough to make it feel like an actual kind of threatening challenge to approach it.
I agree. I want to know what happens when we enter a storm, or whatever other the weather varieties might be. I really want to know what happens if you should feel like you avoid it. I'm going to bring up a very unpopular game, but I think the way that the kind of issue of weather in the mist in Metal Gear Survive worked. Played that.
You're right. That is
a very unpopular game, but it's basically just, if you don't have the right gear to go into the mist, you're going to die in the mist, and that was one thing I actually liked about that game. So it's something that I'm hoping happens in this, that it's intimidating, you want to know what's happening, you want to take the risk, maybe there's better loot, so you really feel like you should, and you party up to approach the storm and see how that works out.
Yeah, I mean, this feels like seeing a vacation, like a travel ad for a place you might go check out. And I'm like, it looks interesting. I don't know if I'm buying plane tickets quite yet, but I'm interested.
Okay, I agree on that.
Yeah.
All right, Max, it's time to reveal your pick. After Party.
We just talked to Sean Krenkel and Janina Gavankar from Janina showed up. She's in it. She plays one of the characters. And
she's
Sean,
the main character.
So this is, of course, two best friends wake up in the underworld after a night partying. And their first game, Oxenfree, was about high schoolers going on a little wacky adventure, and it felt very like, it's a coming-of-age teen thing, which we've seen here and there in games. But as far as games that are about like college kids getting into no-good, they're actually, I think they're post-college. They're like, they graduate. And then the fact that he compared it to like Superbad or to an Edgar Wright movie.
Yeah.
And the fact that it manages to throw in supernatural elements, but coupled with very like believable, grounded, real life human interaction, sounds really cool. Yeah.
It looks really, really pretty as well, and I really like Oxenfree. Like, I really enjoyed it, and Oxenfree, despite, it is kind of like a teenage story about working through relationships and all this different stuff depending on how you play, it's also really messed up. It got really creative through that game, so I'm hoping we see that hit too.
Oxenfree's on my to-do list.
It's good.
All right, I think that's all the big hits from today. What were we thinking about the EA press conference? How would we rate that on the IGN scale?
Is it EA out of 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine.
An EA out of 10.
I know, I'm sure for people who are super into sports games, it's more exciting, but I feel like I'm not so much. So it's just it's what I expected. You put on a show. Andrea did great.
She did. All right, we've been keeping tabs on the fans all day, thanks to a handy little website called Twitter. And now it's time to hear what they think. Donuts fan writes in with their pick. I'm also a donut fan. So much in common. Sea of Solitude is obviously game of the show, he says. Why is that even a question? This is going to be lit. Yeah, we actually haven't talked about it on the show, but I think we were all impressed with what we saw of Sea of Solitude today.
Totally, yeah. I don't really know what to expect from it. It seemed like a deep, heartfelt story, and that was probably the most endearing part of that press conference, is always just seeing those developers just so proud.
I think of the sort of indie games that EA Originals has sort of carted out, this is the one that definitely has my attention the most. It looks the most unlike something I've seen before. This game was actually first unveiled way back in, I think, early 2015. And then they announced in late 2016 that EA was going to be sort of, publishing it. But the fact that we haven't seen it in so long and that it hasn't just sort of disappeared is nice. But it's gorgeous. It's like it's a stunning, beautiful. I don't know how it actually plays, but
it reminded me of stuff like Shadow of the Colossus and Attack on Titan.
Yeah, it's also just nice to see big publishers supporting this kind of thing. Like UbiArts was a thing for a while where we got Child of Light and Valiant Hearts, and I like seeing the big publishers kind of making these smaller, sort of more heartfelt experiences, and I wish that more of them would do it.
And as you were pointing out earlier, Lana, this is an EA original.
It is.
Which means
EA does not profit from this game at all. 100% of profits go to the developer. EA pays for marketing, so they're basically just like helping an indie game. EA doesn't own the IP, nothing like that. So they really just help them out, and I'm sure they make back the money that they spend on marketing and advertising. But that's it. They don't even tell them how to market it. When I
it's like an internship for the entire studio.
Kind of. Yeah, it's a really, really good program, but, you know, I understand why people don't like EA, and I just want to say, you know, you're supporting an indie dev if you buy this game. You're helping that studio make more games that aren't necessarily tied to EA. It's just that sometimes, especially when this game's been in development since at least 2015, maybe they needed the financial assistance, and I'm happy to help them out.
Yeah. And I think the premise of the game of Sea of Solitude is that in that world, the lonelier you become, the more monstrous you become.
Yeah.
So the goal is actually to sort of like reach out and connect with someone and make friends. At least that's how I understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, it looks like a rowboat where you go around and explore stuff, and then suddenly, I think the last time we saw it, it didn't have monsters, so I don't really know.
She looked like the monster from Spirited Away when, from Howl's Moving Castle, when Hal actually turns into the...
Yeah, it's definitely got some hard Miyazaki notes in it.
Yeah, I think so.
Without leaning on it too hard. Yeah. But I mean, the EA Originals lineup has actually, like, they've delivered on that front. Like Unravel, we just got Unravel 2 is out today, and then there's A Way Out. Was great, and then people seem to really dig Faye. So I mean, they've proved it. It seems to work. So
yeah.
I missed your demo. How was Code Vein?
Code Vein looks incredible. I mean, people are calling it Anime Souls. It's the team that worked on God Eater with the kind of the Dark Souls type of combat. So I think people are going to be really excited about that. There's
really
a lot to dig into.
Crazy looking enemies in this.
Yeah.
Do they not mind you calling it Anime Souls? I think you posed that question to them, didn't you?
I mean, I didn't call it that. That's what the internet called it. I just wrote it down on my notebook.
I ran a poll on IGN while that demo was running to be like, does this look like Dark Souls? Because people were arguing about it. It was like 78% yes. So everyone's like, definite Dark Souls comparisons. Doesn't seem as hard as Dark Souls, though. I wonder if they were maybe playing on easy in the demo because they survived. I mean, there are also devs, though, I suppose. It is very pretty.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys tune in all week to see who else we select for our daily Game of the Show Watch. And on Thursday, log on to IGN.com to see who wins our coveted IGN Best of E3 2018 award. Now, obviously, today was a big day for EA. We've seen some incredible gameplay from Anthem and Battlefield 5. Has a lot of people excited. Tomorrow, it's up to Xbox to step up and show us what it has up its sleeve. Always uncertain the future is, but it's time to predict it with a look at what we think Day 2 of E3 has in store for us. Alana, we got the Microsoft press conference in the morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Rapid fire. What do we expect from Microsoft tomorrow?
I'm expecting to see Halo 6, Gears 5.
Halo and Gears 5.
That is my biggest rapid fire.
That would be very
obviously
exciting.
Beloved franchises, but that's what I'm expecting.
And then, Max, any predictions for
Cyberpunk 2077?
At the Microsoft
at Microsoft. I think they're going to do it. We're going to see it at this E3. If we don't, I'm going home angry. I want to see that game.
All right, well, sadly, everybody, that's it for us today. But don't worry, IGN Live at E3 2018 isn't going anywhere. Tune in all week for our continued live press conference coverage. Tomorrow, we've got the Xbox E3 briefing and hopefully Halo. And then there's the Bethesda press conference with maybe a little Elder Scrolls. Maybe. Then Monday, we've got Ubisoft. Everybody, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
IGN Live at E3 2018 is presented by Sicario Day of the Soldado. Only on the big screen June 29th.
President's adding drug cartels to the list of terrorist organizations. I'm gonna have to get dirty. You're gonna help us start a war. With who? Everyone.
Black cloud from the trap house to a fat crowd. They like banks, how you got so many friends? Bada boom, bada bing.
Nice day for a drive, huh?
Sicario, Day of the Soldado.
Adios.
Rated R. Random events. Accidents. Countless possibilities. Converging at a single point in time. Yet, there is only one truth. Cause. Effect. We live in a world of assassins. And the best of them all is Agent 47.
fans of Halo 5's campaign, so we want to see where is Halo 6's campaign gonna go. Halo 6 will obviously be an Xbox One game. It'll be really cool.
Live from Los Angeles for 6 days and almost 50 hours of coverage. And you don't want to miss a second of the action. You'll see the explosive press conferences, breaking news from the show floor, live hands-on demos of the hottest games, and expert insight on all of the latest developments straight from the IGN team.
Hello, old friend.
If it's at E3, it's coming to our stage. IGN's live coverage of E3 2018 starts right now.
Welcome to IGN Live at E3 2018. I'm Damon Hatfield, and for the next 6 days, we're here to break some news and blow some minds with the hottest games, hands-on demos, and first looks you won't see anywhere else. We're giving you a front row seat to the future of gaming only on IGN.com and Disney XD. Tune in all week as we bring you live coverage of the biggest press conferences. Tomorrow, we've got Xbox and Bethesda. Monday is Ubisoft and PlayStation. Then Tuesday is Nintendo and the Fortnite 50v50 Celebrity Pro-Am. Don't forget you can download the IGN app for all the latest news right in the palm of your hand. As for today, we're kicking things off next with the EA press conference, and later we'll take a look at the rumors around Halo 6. But now, to help me break down everything we can expect from E3, I'm joined by Alana Pierce, Brandon Tyrell, and Max Scoville. What's up, everybody? Let's start with the obvious question. What conference are you most excited to see? Alana.
I mean, obviously we're all really excited for PlayStation and for
Fact.
everything else.
Yeah.
We know they line up with the big four games, but
Sure.
I feel like this year I'm really anticipating Microsoft's conference because I feel like it's kind of make or break for them. We really don't know what they have. I'm really, really excited about the idea of a new Fable. It's been rumored that it's in development from Playground, who've worked on Forza. They've got people from Rockstar North working on it, so we know they're really staffing up to make some kind of amazing action RPG, and I'm really hoping that it's Fable, but also Gears of War. I've been a Gears fan since the first Gears. Like, that really, really sold me on the original 360, so I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, it's true that Xbox truly is the X factor of this show. What are they going to have? What do you think about Halo 6? Is that being revealed tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's going to be revealed tomorrow. I would guess it comes out in the middle of next year. Wild predictions here, but that's what I think is going to happen.
I'm 100% with you. I made the prediction last year, and I was wrong, but I'm going to make it again this year. I think we finally see that Halo 6 trailer. I think we're going to get a little bit of an introduction to what we can expect from it.
Hopefully it's the Chief.
Hopefully it's the Chief again.
Yeah.
And, to echo what you were saying, a lot of the conferences are known quantities, but Microsoft is really that X factor.
Max, how about you?
I mean, I agree with you on one hand. Microsoft needs some first-party love, but Nintendo is a house of secrets. They're full of mysteries, and the Switch is barely, 2 years old at this point? Like, it's in its sophomore year. I want to see what Nintendo has in store. I feel like they're really good at keeping things buttoned up, so I'm dying to see what they have that they're going to reveal for us.
Yeah, for me, I got to say, even though we do really know what Sony's lineup is coming into their show, as a spectator, as just someone who enjoys watching E3, their show, the excitement builds over the weekend leading up to that Monday evening, and it's just the most fun thing for me for us all to get together and finally watch the Sony conference. That's what I'm most
Especially if we're going to get Death Stranding and Last of Us Part 2 gameplay.
See
Finally.
what Norman Reedus has been up to for the last
Yes.
year?
Guillermo del Toro. What have they been doing?
How's that baby doing?
How is that baby doing? We'll find out. All right, E3 is massive this year. All the big developers are here showcasing brand new games and surprise twists from a few we've seen before. So, who are the major players and what's at stake? Here's a quick refresher to bring you up to speed.
E3 2018 is finally here. All the major players are ready to enter the arena, and the question on everyone's mind, whose game will be the best in show? EA, the king of the battlefield. Last year, the Star Wars Battlefront 2 microtransaction controversy dealt a major blow to the gaming juggernaut. Now, they're aiming to win back gamers with two of the most highly anticipated titles at E3, DICE's Battlefield 5 and BioWare's Anthem. Bethesda, Masters of sprawling open worlds. They're so confident in their E3 lineup, they couldn't help but deliver early reveals that include Rage 2 and Fallout 76.
Our future begins.
Square Enix, RPG pioneer turned third-party powerhouse. Kingdom Hearts 3 and Shadow of the Tomb Raider are easy crowd pleasers this year. But Square Enix is sitting on a secret weapon.
They are coming back.
The Final Fantasy VII Remake could be its biggest game changer yet.
We're not forgotten.
Ubisoft, the mega franchise factory. This year, it's betting everything on its sequels. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, The Division 2, and the long-awaited release of Beyond Good and Evil 2. Sony, the leader of the pack. Spider-Man and The Last of Us Part 2 are looking to elevate the incredible bar set by God of War. And expect more sleepless nights of theorizing with another look at Hideo Kojima's head-scratching blockbuster, Death Stranding. Microsoft, the hollowed halls of Halo. 2017, it proved it had the most powerful console on the market, the Xbox One X. Now it's time to see if new entries in iconic franchises like Halo, Gears of War, Perfect Dark, and Fable are on the horizon. Nintendo, the house that Mario built. Riding in on that Nintendo Switch swagger has them feeling like Funky Kong. And with games like Metroid Prime 4 and both Pokemon Let's Go titles, the future of Nintendo's hybrid console is shining brighter than the sun. The stage is set, the players are ready. Who will be crowned the king of E3 2018?
And now that we know who the big players are at this E3, what do you all think will be the biggest games of the show? What will be announced this week?
There's a lot of stuff that we already know about. It's hard to guess, but I'm going to go with third parties. I think we're going to see a bunch of Cyberpunk gameplay, and we're all really excited about that. It's going to be the first game since The Witcher 3, which came out a few years ago now, and obviously received tons of 10 out of 10, so it's a big deal. I also really hope we get Devil May Cry 5. They just recently registered a domain name for it, so in theory that should be coming, and I just want to know what's happening with the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Oh, yeah.
Please, Capcom.
So in terms of Cyberpunk and Devil May Cry 5, where do you think we would see those games? On a first-party press conference, Sony's or Microsoft's?
Total guess, I'm going to say Cyberpunk on Xbox and Devil May Cry on PlayStation.
I think that's fair.
It seems like a safe bet.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry has a history with PlayStation,
Yeah.
and Witcher 3 unveiled gameplay on Microsoft stage. So,
right.
Brandon, how about you?
Well, you covered third party, so I'm going to go first party. I think Microsoft, we already spoke a little bit about it, but that Halo 6 announcement is going to be there. What I really want to see, though, from Microsoft is the unannounced IPs. Where are they? We know they're ramping up new studios. We know they're working on something. We know they're working on multiple things. I would love to see something that makes me stop and say, oh, what is this, during the conference.
And
I want to be surprised.
They've repeatedly promised to focus on exclusives and kind of admitted to sort of messing up when it comes to first-party exclusives. So hopefully they really show us what they've been working on and really prove that to be true.
Yep.
Yeah. Brandon, how about you? Alana feels confident we're going to see Halo 6 tomorrow. Do you agree?
I do. Yeah, I think it's time. I think we're going to get that trailer, and like I was saying a little bit earlier, I think someone from 343 is going to come out. They're going to give us a tone piece. They're going to talk about what the chief is doing, where he's at, and I think Halo 6 needs to be the game that sort of writes that franchise after the lackluster reception of Halo 5.
I feel like some Master Chief Collection updates would be really good too.
Yeah.
I still play the Master Chief Collection a lot, but I'd really love to see some extra support for that. Show how they're fixing some of that infrastructure is still a little bit broken.
Absolutely, and they absolutely are. They're continuously updating. I think
Yeah.
the most recent update happened just a couple weeks ago.
It was, yeah.
I mean, they had a fantastic showing a few years ago with a bunch of first-party stuff, and I think Recore was kind of a disappointment, and then Scalebound got canceled, and it was like, what are their first-party things doing? As for what I'm predicting to see, this is a very softball, vague answer, but I think the internet is going to break over Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
I think that people just love getting excited about Smash. I think there's going to be a ridiculous amount of memes coming out of that. I think that they're going to announce some character that we don't even expect, and everyone just gets so excited, and it's going to be trending on Twitter. I think it's going to be it'll be like Solaire from Dark Souls or Wreck-It Ralph or somebody like that, or Goku. Probably not Goku, but I mean, people love it. It's such an accessible game because it's like, hey, do you like I don't know, video game characters from the history of video games?
Yeah.
So
We've got Got them all.
Here, fight.
What if this is essentially a port of the Wii U game?
I think
Would that
that's
be enough?
fine.
That's okay?
That's totally fine.
I think it's unlikely.
Yeah.
But I'm also fine with it. But I
Yeah.
still play it on Wii U. We were playing it in the office just last week.
Sure.
So I'm cool with that. But I don't think that will be the case. I think we'll get something fresh.
I think if you look at the sales for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it makes total sense for them to put it out. But at the same time, you know, people do obviously want a brand new game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And then there's Sony. Of course, we actually know what Sony's major lineup is. They
That's
talked
right.
about bringing the big four. They've got Spider-Man, which is coming this year in September, one of the most anticipated games of the year, exclusively on PS4. But we've already seen this at the past 2 E3s. So what do you think they'll be spending too much time talking about this today?
I actually
A few months
I
away.
hope so.
You want-
I mean, I want to see more of what we'll be doing in the open world. You know, it's Insomniac. They made Sunset Overdrive, originally an Xbox exclusive title. But that was such good open world traversal, and I feel like we haven't seen a lot of that stuff. And some of the older Spider-Man games, which I got really addicted to, even though they were solid 7s, just had a lot of really interesting sort of turf war stuff where you'd go to a certain location and you'd overtake it and deal with people one by one, and that stuff was really fun. I want to know what I'm doing outside of the structured cinematic sort of core missions that we've seen, and yeah, more villains.
Yeah, some of the flavor of the world I would love
Yeah.
to see, like what I'm doing when I'm not fighting. Is it Negative Man? You know, am I collecting old comic books? Am I? Insomniac Games is so good at just that like movement, that feel of movement. I would love to see them lean in real hard to just swing through the city as Spider-Man, like, fulfill your dreams.
We got a tease of Miles Morales at the tail end of, I think it was last year's demo, and we just last week got a trailer for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the new animated Spider-Man movie. So I think it'd be pretty good time to show off Miles in the game if he's
all
doing
coming
anything.
together.
Maybe even Spider-Gwen?
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there is The Last of Us Part 2, which there was a tone piece a couple years ago, and then last year we got sort of a lengthy CGI trailer. Time to see gameplay for that game, wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this one's a weird one for me because I'm already sold on it. Like, my thing with The Last of Us Part 2 is, like, I'm already going to play it. I want to know what the setting is, how the world is at that point in time, but it's like, I'm already sold. You can show me whatever, I'm just going to be like, yes, definitely still planning to buy it.
Point in time, that's an interesting thing. People are speculating that maybe it's set at 2 different time periods.
Oh, yeah?
And that there's Ellie's story and then her mother's story as
Right.
a flashback. So
Interesting.
It would change the structure of the games as well.
And I mean, we're all assuming it's Ellie that's playable, too, so it's, there's a lot of questions there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like you, already sold on that, already sold on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's why I think Death Stranding and Ghosts of Tsushima are both a little bit more. I want to see what those games actually are.
Yeah, I think this is the year. I think this is the year we finally see some Death Stranding gameplay.
Yeah, I hope so.
All
right, it's time to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with our predictions for the EA press conference, which is just moments away.
IGN Live at E3 2018 is presented by Sicario Day of the Soldado. Only on the big screen June 29th.
President's adding drug cartels to the list of terrorist organizations. I'm gonna have to get dirty. You're gonna help us start a war. With who? Everyone.
Black cloud, from the trap house to a fat crowd. They like banks, how you got so many friends. Bada boom, bada bing.
Nice day for a drive, huh?
Sicario, Day of the Soldado.
Adios.
Rated R.
Random events. Accidents. Countless possibilities. Converging at a single point in time. Yet, there is only one truth. Cause. Effect. We live in a world of assassins. And the best of them all is Agent 47.
Welcome back to IGN Live at E3. We're just minutes away from the EA press conference, one of the most anticipated shows of E3 2018. Last year, they came on strong with a promising look at one of their blockbuster franchises, but things didn't quite go as expected. Let's take a look at where EA is coming into E3 2018.
Last year, one of the largest game developers on the planet launched one of the biggest AAA titles ever. But it was met with resistance.
And the resistance might have a chance.
EA's controversial microtransactions in Battlefront 2 caused gamers to rebel.
I rebel.
They responded by restricting their in-game purchases from loot boxes to cosmetic upgrades. Some speculate the scandal impacted projected sales and soured the market on what promised to be a surefire hit. And then there was Mass Effect Andromeda, the BioWare sequel to a beloved franchise that landed with a critical thud. This E3, EA is seeking redemption, and it looks like they're headed in the right direction. Already, EA is promising that Battlefield 5 will ditch premium passes and loot boxes, making all major post-release content available at no extra charge. EA is also publicly acknowledging that Anthem would not repeat the mistakes of Battlefront 2 and would do everything to steer clear of the pitfalls that plagued Mass Effect Andromeda. Is all this goodwill good enough? We're about to find out.
The EA showcase is just around the corner, so what are our predictions? Alana, what are we about to see?
Look, as much as I would love to say Dead Space and Skate 4, probably not going to happen. No, I think we're probably going to get some updates on Star Wars. We really don't know much about the future of the Star Wars license. I think EA has it for 5 more years, and they've really only come out with 2 actual console games in the 5 years they've had that license, which isn't a ton, especially considering so many franchises they have annualized. So I want to get an update on Star Wars, especially, you know, how are they making it up to fans after people were disappointed in Battlefront 2's story? Are we going to get more single-player campaigns? Really hoping to learn more about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we know there was the visceral Star Wars game that I don't know if it got canned, or at least it's being heavily reworked.
Yeah.
Because they said at the time it was shaping up to be a single-player, linear, story-driven game, which sounds pretty awesome.
It did sound really
They've
good.
kicked that to Motive.
Yeah,
and Respawn still has one in the works. But
that's right.
Yeah, it's a weird time for Star Wars, both as a game fan and as a movie fan. So
so I imagine they would want to remind everyone that they're making a Star Wars game. What would we want it to be? What kind of Star Wars game? They've had 2 Battlefront games.
Yeah.
What do we want this Star Wars game to be?
The Respawn game is particularly exciting for me because coming off of Titanfall 2.
It's hard to keep it all straight.
Yeah, the movement in that game was fantastic. I mean, giant mechs, it's hard to go wrong with that. If you can get that kind of spirit and like freewheeling, just pedal to the metal kind of feel in a Star Wars game, I would be really excited about that.
just reskin Titanfall 2 and make it Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
Done.
Yeah.
I feel like I want and this was kind of what people were talking about when Amy Hennig was supposed to be working on it, is basically I want Star Wars but Uncharted. I would like a sort of faux open world, just large environments, but a linear story. I know that EA is really unlikely to do that without a multiplayer component. It's the easiest thing to monetize. I get that. They're a business. But I would really like to see more stories, more original stories as well. It would be really cool.
Yeah. Would play. All right, Brandon, what do you think we're about to see at EA's press conference?
I mean, I'm going to double down on that Star Wars, man. Like, that is looking, that's looking really, really, really good as a safe bet for us to, get a glimpse of it. Like, this is, what was it, 2 years ago? They released, 2 years ago, they released the dev diary saying, hey, we're working on it, and it's gone quiet since then.
Yeah.
So I think it's really time that we see something in a Star Wars universe that isn't necessarily Battlefront. I think they have their shooter. And I would love to see some more of like a story element.
Yeah. I wonder if one of the holdups we've had has been that maybe it's very difficult to get things to do with Star Wars approved because there's so many people. You have to be really true to a license. Maybe that stuff's just a lot harder than we would think.
Sure, it all has to go through Lucas or Disney or
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Max, your prediction.
I know this is kind of a long shot here, but I predict during the EA showcase we are going to see a developer diary where some real human person is sitting at their desk and they talk about things that they're working on.
Yeah.
And they just maybe like they always do this. They always show off something, and it's they did one I think last year for Star Wars where we got that literal 3-second glimpse of Visceral's game and a bunch of people talking about the state of Star Wars.
Right.
But it's always like, oh, they just revealed Bosk for Battlefront on someone's monitor. And it's something that drives me crazy. There was one a few years back when they were talking about, what was the Criterion Extreme Sports game?
Yeah, there was an extreme racing game from Criterion that ended up never being finished.
Yeah,
right.
So I'm playing it safe here. I'm betting that we're going to see one of those videos where a bunch of people kind of sit around and talk. I mean, I don't know. Like, I love the
loves
reveals.
that.
Ideally, everything would be like the big Anthem reveal where it's just a solid chunk of, if not gameplay, concept gameplay. We're probably going to get people talking about the stuff they're working on. You know, they've got some ideas for things, and
someone
what they're
pretending to
looking
play with animations in the background.
Maybe doodle on a pad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know they're going to have the big heavy hitters, the Anthem, the Battlefield 5. However, Scoop, just this morning, the ESRB posted a rating for Unravel 2.
Interesting.
Unravel 2. Unravel was a couple years ago. Yarny, of course, was a big moment from E3 2016, I believe.
Right.
So it seems highly likely that they're about to announce Unravel 2 today.
Yeah, I mean, for the last couple of years, EA has sort of, provided a venue for like those smaller games, and the EA Originals program. And I know Unravel wasn't part of the EA Originals program, but in that same sort of
It
spirit,
sparked it.
yeah.
Like the EA Originals program, which for the record I think is incredibly cool. I hope we see more games out of it. I'm not sure if Unravel 2 will be part of it, but for anyone who doesn't know, EA doesn't make any profit off of those games. All profit goes to the developers. So every single EA Originals game, if you are interested in games like that, like Faye, like A Way Out, you aren't giving EA money by paying for that. And I think it's a really cool, supportive program for them to have.
Some gamers like not giving EA money.
I know, that's why I mentioned it.
I also want to point out that you don't need an ESRB rating to show your game at E3.
Right.
So that tells me this is and it's available now.
Oh,
kind of
like a
situation.
one more thing kind of situation.
What did they rate? Like E for everybody?
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping they'd take a grittier approach with Yarny.
M-rated
Yarny's
Unravel.
Revenge.
He's just dirty.
Also worth noting, rated for PS4, Xbox One, PC, not Switch.
Bummer.
Which means EA is not following the rules. Put everything on Switch. That's what you're supposed to do. Everything on Switch. All right, that's Unravel 2. Those big games, Anthem, Battlefield 5. You think EA opens with one of them? And which one?
Yes. Okay. I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say Anthem.
All right, so let's talk about Anthem for a second.
I think Anthem is their big sort of unknown game. I mean, we saw it a couple years ago.
1 year ago.
1 year ago. That's right. Yeah. Wow. It's been a whole
Time
year.
flies.
Time flies. It looks great. It looks like it plays great, and I think that they're going to say, like, everyone knows what Battlefield is, right? It's a known quantity. I think they open the show with Anthem, showing off just so much gameplay is what I want to see. I just want to see so much gameplay.
I mean,
Yeah, we're really interested in what kind of multiplayer this is going to have as well. And it looks like Destiny, but then it doesn't. And they've spoken about how they're going to be showing off a lot of monsters. So I'm wondering if the multiplayer component is going to be somewhere between Destiny and maybe Monster Hunter, less like a Destiny clone like everyone thought it would be at the start. So I'm very curious about that. Stuff like this makes me think of Monster Hunter, but with jetpacks. So.
I mean, this so-called gameplay, call it what you will, from last year. I saw this and I was like, okay, this looks just impossibly cool. I will believe it when I have it in front of me and I can put my hands on it, or I'm watching someone play it. I'm dying to see how it actually unrolls and what it is, and also maybe a tease of what the story is, because it's a BioWare game after all, and they're known for having incredibly well fleshed out worlds and stories and characters. So
yeah, and it's tough. Like, how do you put a story focus on a game that's at its core going to be a cooperative shared world, where your actions are supposed to change the world, but like then your friends' actions also have to change the world. So
it's hard to deliver stories in that way, but it's also like slightly concerning that one of the lead writers, I believe, left halfway through the project.
Drew Holmes.
But it is a lot of the people who worked on the original Mass Effect trilogy, which we all love because those stories were so engrossing. So do you get to date other aliens? Guess we'll find out.
It's not a BioWare game if you can't. It sounds like EA is really going to blow up Anthem today. They've announced ahead of time they're going to be giving us a detailed look at Anthem's gameplay. They're going to show us an all-new trailer. That'll give us a glimpse into the story, characters, and monsters that bring the game to life. There's lots of monsters in the
monsters.
Game. The gameplay will focus on combat, flying mechanics, and loot. And Max, you'll be happy to hear there is a behind-the-scenes glimpse at Anthem and some of the concept art, design.
That's some professional insight right there.
And world building that's gone into the project.
Veteran.
There you
I hope
go.
to see some desks.
Yeah, desks. And then Battlefield 5. There was a reveal event couple weeks ago, they showed us a big trailer, but we haven't really seen gameplay yet. Hopefully we're going to see gameplay today. Do you think they'll focus on multiplayer or campaign stuff?
Probably both.
Both?
Yeah, I imagine we'll get
both?
montages of both. Yeah, it's. I have a lot less questions about Battlefield because I'm like, oh, it's Battlefield. First games I played online were Vietnam and 1942. I've been playing those games for forever, so it's like, I know what this is.
Sure.
Let me see the cool vehicles. What are the time-related weapons that you've got for me? But aside from that, like, I have a lot less questions. But yeah, I'm interested if they'll do the sort of vignette storytelling style that they did with Battlefield 1 because I actually liked that a lot.
I think they've confirmed that that's coming back.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I think that adds a fresh perspective rather than one character through the entirety.
I think they're going to do the usual EA thing where they have just a massive audience full of people all playing in real time together, and it shows the game in action.
Yeah, the curtain comes down, and there's just 100 players, and Snoop Dogg is there.
Exactly.
And,
Sounds Drake like shows up.
Drake shows up.
Yeah, and people were a little bit wary of the sort of the I don't know, exaggerated, colorful approach for Battlefield, but I'm dying to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
You were a fan of Battlefield 1, is that right?
I loved it, yeah. And I mean, there have been a lot more World War II stuff, but anyway.
Cool. All right, time for another break, but don't go anywhere because we've got the EA press conference coming up next, and you don't want to miss it.
Doesn't know what we are. Jake.